Welcome back to day 25 of the 29-day love challenge. Wow. Woo-hoo. Did I say 25? Man, 25 days ago, I started this challenge and looks like I'm still going strong, right? And, Sundays are my toughest days because probably most of the people uh, are in church. Well, if they're not in church, they on Zoom. If they're not on Zoom, they on YouTube, right? The pandemic has certainly changed the dynamics of how we do church. I called somebody this morning. I text somebody this morning. I said, look, hey, you want to join me for the 29-day love challenge? And they had something. I said, are you in church? Because I don't want to disturb somebody from being in church, right? I'm not going to do that. And they said, no, I'm going to be on Zoom. So then I said, okay, well, you mind jumping on with me for for 30 minutes on the love challenge? How do we transform what talk I wanted them to talk about the transforming love of God, the transforming love of God. And I wanted them, to talk about the impact of love from their perspective and the impact of love that love has had on their life. And of course they couldn't do it. They had something else to do, but and then I asked another person. I said, when you can't find anybody, everybody's in church. So I asked another person. I said, you want to jump on here for a few minutes with me to talk about the power of love? And of course they was like, nah, I'm leaving. I gotta go. I'll talk to you later. So hey, it is what it is, But I'm here. Challenge. Woo, we have a challenge. Let me talk to you. Since I'm gonna be on here 30 minutes, let me talk to you for a few minutes, right? Yesterday I had an opportunity to get out the house, and I went up to I had an opportunity. I was given an opportunity to speak to one of the high school teams, Woodlands High School in Greenburgh, New York. And I went up I think Monday or Tuesday, before their playoff game. And the coach wanted me to share with them what it would be like, to play in the playoffs, to win a championship. Right. And so I did. I went up. He asked me to bring some things, brought my scrapbook that somebody had created for me. And I also brought my jersey. I pulled it off the wall in the frame, and brought my jersey. And I brought just a silhouette of um, my induction into the Sports Hall of Fame. West Virginia Sports Hall of Fame talks about all the accolades and stuff like that. I wanted them, he wanted me to bring those things. So I did. Had a great conversation with a great group of young men, right? And I was talking to them about how in this, you finish your season, and your season is to prepare you for the end of the season. Now, if you don't have a very good season, you don't make it into the playoffs, you got to start preparing for next season. In this case, they did well, and they won their first playoff game, and they're on their way to the fame in our area, Westchester County Center. And so I was reflecting back on my moments playing in the county center and winning championships and different things like that, and even losing, right? And one of the things I said, look, everything that you have done so far, right, has prepared you, right, has prepared you for this moment. Right now, you have to reach deep inside and pull out those lessons that you learned during the course of a season. right? And then when the time comes to to ex to be excellent, time comes to be productive, right? It's no time for fear, right? Because everything that you have done to this point has helped you to manage that fear, right? And I said, so be in the moment, stay in the moment, because every test and every trial that you had throughout this season, right, has prepared you for this opportunity. And so, of course, I told them, like, the most important thing, we all want to win, right? But the most important thing is what you guys are doing together right now. You're building a brotherhood, right? You're either going to talk about, and I'm not here to discourage you in terms of winning. You're either going to talk about how you lost, right? Or you're going to end up talking about how you won. But the most important thing is the brotherhood, the fellowship you guys built that will last for generations, right? 20, 30 years from now, you're going to call each other and say, remember when you played together on a high school team? Love, brotherhood, fellowship, right? So I had an opportunity to go check out some of the games yesterday at the county center, and enjoyed the first game, boys game, and second game, the girls game. Great seat. I got a great seat right under the basket, on the basket, underneath the basket, and right there at the corner. And then there are people sitting next to me on the floor, sitting next to me. Is one seat open, right? And people are coming and going because their teams play, and they finish playing and they leave. And then other people come and they ask me, is anybody sitting here? No, nobody's sitting here. But you know what I was thinking about the whole time I was sitting there, most of the day? I was thinking about acts of kindness. I was thinking about, there was a seat next to me, right? And if a father and a daughter came, or a father and a son came, would I give up my seat? That's what I was thinking about. I was thinking, like, if somebody said, hey, I got my daughter with me, man, this is a really good seat. Would you give? And I kept seeing myself give up that seat and sitting behind them, right? I was there with the mindset of love. I was there to perform, or give, not perform, but to give acts of kindness. I mean, people, saying hello to people. I mean, people coming up, I played basketball for a long time, so people recognize you and they say, hey, you Lowe's, right? And guy said, man, you a legend, man. I said, come on, man. He said, no, man, you a legend. And he said, I remember when I was a little kid, you was at the Greenberg Community Center. It was like our Madison Square Garden. And you guys would come in and play, man. And I remember, man, seeing you play, man, and how amazing you played. And then, but how nice you were. I mean, you didn't just brush me off, man. You said, shook my hand, and, and spoke to me and had a conversation with me, and I just started thinking about all those, how I thank God for the response that I had as a basketball player. Because the more as an athlete, entertainer, business person, because sometimes our ego can get in the way. You know what ego is? Edging God out, right? That's what an ego is, edging God out. I'm so thankful, man, that God allowed me not to edge him. I made the choice not to edge God out, to always be in the moment, in the moment of love, in the moment of character, in the moment of good attitude. Which brings me to a point right now, real quick. My second coach, my first coach was CJ Calvin Jones, and may he rest in peace. CJ touched so many lives. He gave so many random acts of kindness. He showed so much love to so many kids that people will talk about him in the supermarket, on the street. Parents would want to know who CJ was. sorely missed. My second coach was his brother James. In my estimation, and all the coaches, and I played for Phil Jackson and Bill Musselman and George Carl. I played for some great coaches. But James Jones was the greatest coach I ever played for. And he's in the hospital right now, struggling. So I pray that you would pray with me that the Lord would bless him, touch his heart, that the Lord would heal him. Because he shows so much love. I'm not his son, but he is my father. And I'm thankful to him. Texts me every day, right? I was just looking at a text. He texted me on Thursday before he got sick on Friday. He would text people prayers probably about 3:30 in the morning. You would get that ding. So God, please, thy will be done. Thank you. I thank you for him and his love for me. And let me say this, finally, as I move on, let me say this. When I was a young man in high school, right, I went into Mr. Jones' office after all the things he had blessed me. Clothed me, fed me, taught me discipline, structure. I said, Mr. Jones, if I ever become successful, man, what could I give you? If I make it to the NBA, what could I give you? What could I do for you? He said, Lowe's, if you could do for somebody what I've done for you, that would be my blessing. He wasn't thinking about himself. Joyce Meyer said, the problem today with the world is selfishness. And Mr. Jones in that day showed selflessness. The power of selflessness. And so that's why we're doing this 30-day love, 29-day love challenge. Because we believe that the root or the remnant for the problems and issues we have today is love. Love. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever will believe on him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Love. I can't even say it anymore. Love. Unconditionally. Love. The power of love. Right? I'm going to get off my soapbox, but just wanted you to know that I get on here for the last 25 days because I believe that love can transform the world. Now, I'm going to say this. You don't have to have a relationship with God, but love is still here. Whether you believe in him or not, showing kind acts, giving people joy, showing goodness and showing mercy and showing kindness, right? And love is a dove and a serpent. So it shows love. It hugs you on one end, and on the other end, it disciplines. I'm not talking about punishment, right? But I'm talking about structure, giving you structure and discipline. That's what love does. That's what love does. So check out this video. I enjoyed this video. Check out this video real quick. And if someone has shown you love, if someone has shown you a kind act, a random act of kindness or an act of kindness or of act of love, if they have shown you that and you are on here, man, put it in the chat, right? And if God has compelled you and made you aware of someone around you and you were able to show an act of kindness, yeah, put it in the chat. Yeah, put it in the chat, man. And so check out this video. Check out this video, and I'll be right back with you.
I had just graduated from university with a BA in HR, and I still live with my parents. I was really excited to get into the workforce and start my career and be able to move out. I had applied to many different jobs, but none of them were really what I was looking for. One day, I was at work and I received an email notification with the job title, Human Relations Coordinator. So I looked around to see if there were any customers so that I could apply as soon as possible. The next day, I received a phone call saying, "You are selected for an interview." That day, I felt unstoppable. I thought to myself, I have great chances of getting the job. I am smart, motivated, and young. I was overwhelmed with joy. There I found myself at the interview, nervous but excited. I think I was about 20 minutes early because of all the excitement. I started rehearsing what I was going to say, like, "Hi, my name is Xavier," in different vocal tones. People must have thought I was crazy. I was the only one sitting for this interview. Then I thought to myself, whoa, I really have a chance at this job. Then I see a woman run in with her kids and sit down. I said to myself, why would you bring your kids to an interview? Then I looked at her again and saw what she was wearing and how exhausted she was. That's when it hit me. She must have had it rough. I remember putting my hands over my face and thinking really hard. Do I live this opportunity to help a complete stranger, or do I think of myself first and try to get this job? I sat in my hands for a few seconds and got up. I walked towards her with a smile and said to her, "Good luck, stay strong," and kept walking.
Xavier Martin?
You see, I didn't know whether she was going to get the job or not, but knowing that I had given her more of an opportunity made me feel amazing. The following year, I found myself at the same spot. It just comes to show that helping someone out actually pays off.
Wow. Yeah, that was powerful right there. You know, I don't know. I would wonder what would you do in that situation? Here you are, a college graduate. You graduated from college, man, trying to find a job, working at a mediocre job, and you know, here's a job, an opportunity for you, and you get to the interview, right? And you seen that lady struggling with her two kids, probably needed the job more than he did at that time. He's young. He already had a little, you know, a position already, and he had the courage to get up. And selflessness, right? Selflessness. I mean, Joyce, again, I say Joyce Meyer in her book, The Love Revolution, said the problem with the world today is selfishness, right? And if we can get rid of selfishness, if we can think about others, right? If we can think about others, Zig Ziglar says, if you help enough people get what they want, ultimately, you will get what you want. Right? He was selfless, right? He got up and left the interview, not knowing whether the lady was even there for an interview or that she would even get the job. And then a year later, comes back, and the lady is the person doing the hiring. Right? I mean, powerful. Man, love is so powerful. Right? I mean, love is powerful, man. I mean, what else could I say? Let me go back a little bit here. And I didn't start off like I normally start. You're probably asking yourself a question. I get on the 29 days love challenge. I get on. I come on every day, and Lowell says the same thing over and over again. Right? You're probably wondering why. You know why? Because if you ever gonna get anywhere, if you're gonna ever be successful, you have to learn the power of repetition. Right? And remember what I said. It takes 21 days to change a habit. It takes 21 days, right? If there's a word you cannot spell, and you spell that word and look at that word for 21 days, it will be yours. You will possess it, right? If you have a problem with procrastination, and if 21 days you acted on everything you said you would do, you would change, you would kill procrastination. You would destroy it. I'm saying, like, if for 21 days, man, you would focus on something that is positive, right? Rather than something that is negative, you will enter the place of faith. You will break that stronghold. Right? It's the same thing. If I spend all my time thinking about hatred and fear, if I live in that world of fear for 21 days, man, it becomes a habit. It becomes a lifestyle. Right? But if I think on something, that's why I keep saying the same thing over again. Right? You hear me say my book of the month, Joyce Myers, Love Revolution. You keep hearing me say it over and over again, that the root of evil, the root of the problem is selfishness. Right? And then I say the same thing over again, right? When you see this, I said, but the fruit, not fruits, but the fruit of the Spirit is love. And the attributes of love is joy and peace and kindness and patience and goodness and faithfulness and gentleness and self-control. If you hear these things over and over and over again, you will destroy strongholds. You will destroy strongholds on your life. Man, if you listen to something positive for 21 days, if you listen to it over and over and over again, you will break the stronghold in your life. Right? If we all start to practice love, we will change the world. I mean, oh man, here it is. Repetition, the same thing over and over and over again. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not boast. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrong. It does not delight in evil. With it rejoices with the truth. It always protects. It always trusts. It always hopes. And love always persevere. Love never fails. And so that's why you hear me say every day, I say the same in the beginning. I say the same thing over and over and over again, because it was through repetition of right things, right coaching, right teaching, the things my mother taught me, the things my grandparents taught me, right? Repetition over and over and over again, I became who I am, right? I became who I am because of repetition. That's why I keep saying the same thing over and over again. Look, I hope your day is full of love. I mean, when you look, acts of kindness every day, Random acts of kindness every day. Do it every day. Seek it every day. Have it on your mind every day. That's why I was thinking. I mean, I'm 25 days into this, right? So that's why I was at the game. I could only look around and think of acts of kindness. I can look around and think of, like, there were fans up in the crowd, right, from the other team. I'm not even gonna mention their name. They were above me, right, in the championship, not the championship, semifinal game. And they're up cheering for their team, which is good. You bring fans, you cheer for your team. But when there was a guy on the other team, the team he was playing against, and he was heavy. And so they start talking about his weight, man. Like, you can't breathe, man. You too fat, man. You too. And you know what I liked was that, number one, the security guard, right, came over and they said, put your shirts on. That's number one. Number two, right, the people sitting next to me and the people on the side of them said, no, don't say that, man. That's not how you cheer for your team, right? That's wrong to be calling that guy outside of his name, right? If you're a real fan of your team, you're not disrespectful. And check this out. Each team's player read a statement saying we do not call people outside their name. We do not make racial comments. We do not do any of that. We do not disgrace people, right? And I was happy that people heard it and said and put a stop to it. So, and you know what? At the end of the day, you know, God don't like ugly, right? The same guy that they were talking about, in the end, he beat them in the end. The same guy, the same heavy guy they was talking about. You can't run, you can't do this, you can't do that. In the end, he won. In the end, God don't like ugly. That's why love is so powerful, man. Ooh, love is powerful, man. So let me get off here. Thank you, man. Love is powerful, man. You know, kindness is powerful. Wow. I got a few comments before I get off here. Let me see these comments here. Let's see here. Yeah. That's my wife. I love you too, babe. I love you too. I love you too. Love conquers all. She's all the way in Charlotte, North Carolina, right? And then finally here she got another one that says, and great man you are. Thank you, babe. So I'm getting off. I'm going to show you my final videos, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 26. We almost there. We almost to the end. But you know what? At the end of 29 days, it's just the beginning of something powerful, right? Just the beginning. We just getting started on this. So check this out. I'll see you tomorrow. I love you guys. And have a happy Sunday. Challenge. Love. 29-day love challenge.
A.D. Williams once said, imagine what 7 billion humans could accomplish if we loved and respected one another. Just imagine. Imagine if there was no greed. Imagine if there was no comparison. If everyone was running their own race, but cheering for all others at the same time. Maybe we'll never see that in our lifetime. But what we all can do is start with ourselves. Start with yourself. Choose to lift others up. Choose to set the example of kindness and integrity, the example of compassion and understanding. There's a quote that says, no matter how educated, talented, rich, or cool you believe you are, how you treat people ultimately tells all. Integrity is everything. It really is. Who you are is far more important than what you have, and it will always be. Who you are is measured by how you make others feel. Be kind to each other. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. Choose to be the change you wish to see in the world. Decide you will not wait for someone else. You will set the example. Be kind. Because you never know how much that person is suffering inside. You never know the difference your words can make, the difference your presence can make, the difference you can make to one human life. Be the reason someone believes in the goodness of humanity. Be the reason someone else decides to make a difference in others. Be the influence you want to see more of. Always do what is right, not what is easy in the moment. Kindness spreads like a virus. When you do good to another, that person does better to those they come in contact with. You really can make a big difference in the world today and every other day. Anne Frank said, in the long run, the sharpest weapon of all is a kind and gentle spirit. No one has ever made themselves great by showing how small another is. Be kind and always build others up to the best of your ability. Treat everyone with the same level of kindness that you would like for yourself. Not because everyone is nice, but because you are. Because karma makes no mistakes. Because it is right. Because you have integrity. Because you want this world to be better when you leave than when you arrive.